Are you worried about getting trapped in a long-term lease? Do you think your company will outgrow its space before the lease ends? Are you looking for lease options that will provide you business flexibility? We'll cover these questions in just a moment. Hello everyone, Richard from Pocket Broker, helping elevate your business and individual success through commercial real estate. On this channel, we explore many topics like real estate investing, leasing strategies, and property acquisition for businesses. If this is your first time here, press that subscribe button for more videos like this one. Businesses can experience radical changes to their needs, even in short periods of time. This inherent friction between business needs and commercial lease requirements results in an uncomfortable level of uncertainty. Although businesses may feel pressure from their landlord to sign long-term leases, there are alternatives. In this video, we are going to cover 4 options tenants have to negotiate a more flexible lease. Option 1. Termination and contraction. This first option provides commercial tenants increased exit flexibility, which is the ability to opt out of all or part of a commercial lease. Termination and contraction are 2 separate lease flexibility clauses. A termination clause allows a tenant to officially end a lease defined by a specific timeline and when a tenant needs to provide notification. Furthermore, this clause will likely include a penalty, either in the form of a pro rata rent or unamortized lease costs. Contraction. For larger tenants, flexibility may come in a form of a smaller footprint. A contraction clause allows tenants to reduce their square footage prior to a lease ending, though it typically can only be executed at certain milestones and will likely also include some sort of penalty. Option 2. Assignment and sublease rights. Assignment and sublease rights provide commercial tenants exit flexibility in crafting a lease. Though often used interchangeably, assignment and sublease mean 2 different things for a commercial tenant, and it's critical that businesses understand the liability, or the lack thereof, associated with each lease clause. Assignment, when a tenant assigns its lease rights and obligations to another tenant. The new tenant substitutes for the original one, and the original tenant is no longer bound under the lease. Sublease. Unlike an assignment, when a tenant subleases a space, the new tenant occupies the space, but the original tenant remains liable for the contractual obligations of the lease. While this provides less risk for a landlord, subleasing is a potentially hazardous situation for the original tenant due to this continued liability. Option 3. Renewal. For businesses, relocating can be an enormous expense, and the process can significantly disrupt operations. As such, having the option to renew your current lease offers considerable operational flexibility. A renewal option is just what it sounds like, the right for a tenant to extend its lease beyond the original termination date. And ensuring this clause is included in a lease allows businesses the win-win of not needing to forecast business needs too far into the future and sign an extremely long-term lease, and stay or go at the conclusion of a lease term. Option 4. Expansion. For growing businesses, an expansion clause is critical to a well-designed and flexible lease. If you're anticipating significant growth over the next 5 years, it doesn't make sense to lease a commercial space for your projected needs 5 years down the line. With an expansion clause, commercial tenants ensure they have the option, but not requirement, to expand into new or adjacent space if the need arises in the future. There are 3 common variations of an expansion clause. Hold options. When a landlord has additional space, a hold option provides a tenant a set period of time to exercise an option on a defined space. First right of refusal. When a landlord has additional space, the landlord is obligated to present the terms of the deal to the current tenant before offering it to the prospective tenant. Right of first offer. If a landlord may have available space in the future, a right of first offer requires the landlord to offer this space to the tenant prior to any third parties. These options aren't mutually exclusive. A tenant can make a lease as flexible as possible by including variations of all of them. However, a landlord can impose additional costs for this increased flexibility. If you are faced with a difficult leasing decision and think you might benefit from a professional, please reach out. We can set you up with a talented local broker who can help you through this process. This comes at no cost to you. That will conclude the video. If you have a specific question about negotiating flexible leases, ask me about it in the comments section below. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter for investing techniques, leasing tips, and market updates. Press that like button if you enjoyed the video. As always, Pocket Broker is helping give you the edge in commercial real estate.